Hey everybody. So I have had quite the 24 hours. But it's been a beautiful experience. And it's one of those things where it really solidified some but beliefs that I've been practicing for a while. But not really getting to that level of knowing. And this is all about navigating the different energies, navigating the spiritual awakening and the experiences that come up. So I've had a hard time with consistency, feeling like I could stay at a level of ease and relief or satisfaction, more positive vibes on a consistent basis. But I always felt like in this inconsistency and lack of control in my vibes. And the truth is, it's true. You can't always control the experiences that are going to come up, but you can always choose your state of being, your response to them. So I found myself resisting these low vibe days, seeing them as wrong and like I wasn't doing something right. But yesterday was like a really low vibe day. I did this meditation with my inner child integration, which was a really beautiful experience, but it brought up a shit ton of energies, like past stuff that I didn't even know was there. I felt sick. I felt just really low vibe and angry all day. And I kept reminding myself it's all normal, doing all the things and like, how can I soothe myself? What do I need right now? But there's still this little voice in the back of my mind that was resisting these low vibes, resisting these feelings of anger, seeing them as wrong and judging myself. Until I just finally was like, okay, I'm angry today. What's wrong with that? I'm having a human day, I'm purging. I'm just going to choose to accept myself and do the best I can right now. I'm accepting where I'm at. I understand that I'm learning some lessons, I'm integrating, and I'm open for guidance. That's all I did. Then I got the impulse to go do a workout. So I went to work out. And then I got a message on Instagram from a friend of mine that I had some confrontation with a week ago. And I already had forgotten about it and I was already over it. But then she messaged me. It was almost like validation that, yes, you let it go. Good job. Because she just came back and was talking to me and saying sorry and stuff like that. But it didn't even faze me anymore. Like I was already past that. I was like, oh, wow, guidance. Like that's exactly what I needed, validation. Then I was on Instagram and a live of Lori Lads came up, another coach that I follow and I highly suggest you do too. But she came up and there was the answer exactly what I needed to hear, which was like validation for everything I was telling myself, just not fully on board with, which is we're here to be human. We are here to feel those lower density energies, those higher density energies, those lower vibe energies. We are here for that. We didn't come here just to be happy all the time. I mean, if we want to be high vibe all the time and never experience contrast, we would never have come here. Every single emotion is valid. It's guidance. And sometimes we're just low vibe. It's not good. It's not bad. And a big part of that is trusting the process. Trusting that we are being guided by our body, by our reality. That we are learning the process as we go. There's nothing to resist, not even within ourselves. So let that sink in for a second. Where are you resisting your life? Where are you seeing things as wrong? Where are you seeing things in your body as wrong and not accepting it? Anything from pain to sickness to anger or sadness, trauma, whatever it is. Where are you not accepting it and using it as guidance, as your path? Because there's no such thing as being off your path. You are your path. And you're being called every moment of every day if you listen. Most of us just aren't willing to listen and then follow through with the guidance that we're getting. Through the negative emotions, through contrast, but also through the blessings. If it makes us uncomfortable and challenges our past beliefs, we oftentimes aren't willing to follow through and have faith. And I was the same way. I still had those moments. We all do. It's part of the process. The process is built in you. You have a natural frequency that you're lining up with. Joy, happiness, love. That is all embodying your natural frequency, the essence of who you are and who you really are and who you're remembering that you are. You're constantly being pulled back. But just because you experience contrast or lower vibe days doesn't mean you're not doing the work. That is part of the work. And that took me a while to understand because it felt so shitty. But the reason why it feels shitty is because you're resisting it. And that was where the struggle is. You're not experiencing struggle with the negative emotions or contrast. You're experiencing a struggle by not accepting it. So here are some steps that my guides told me today of how to handle contrast, how to be more sovereign in it, meaning not try and go around it, not resist it, not play the victim, but truly be the creator that you are and choose differently. Vibrate through it and above it. So you basically ascend above it. Because drama, contrast, it only exists for our learning. So the moment you don't need it anymore, the drama is still there, but you're above it now. You're tuning to a different frequency because you're no longer a match to it. So understand that real quick. That took me a minute. But here are the steps that they told me. Step 1 is remember where your power is. So if you're feeling angry or triggered in some way, tell yourself, okay, this just means I gave my power away. And be brutally honest with yourself, with love, not with judgment. Just speak the truth. Yeah, I gave my power away. How did I give my power away? What am I believing right now? What am I thinking right now? Totally accepting the experience as guidance. It's not going to hurt you to accept it. It's not going to happen more if you accept it. But literally just being like, yep, I gave my power away. Because your reality is a teaching tool. And one way they described it as your ego and mind are the game console, the virtual reality console that's creating the human experience, while your soul is playing the game. Through the human personality, it's playing the game. It's going through different levels. Therefore, our reality is the greatest teaching tool. It's a simulation. And just as easily as we can, walk into a different room if we don't like what's going on in there, we can do the same thing with our vibration. We can tune to a different frequency instead of trying to resist it and figure it out and make sure it doesn't happen again. Because whatever you resist persists. You're still in that energy of the problem and not the solution. So step 1, recognize that you gave your power away, accept the situation, and call it back. Just by recognizing you gave it away and choosing to call it back is enough. Setting the intention. Step 2, choose differently vibrationally. Speak with your vibration. So if you're feeling sadness, anger, or whatever, what do you prefer to feel? Who do you prefer to be in this situation? And if you don't even know you don't have to know the answer or anything like that. That's something that I found myself trying to do. Like, what's the right way to do this? What's the equation? No. The equation in the process is just literally acceptance and flowing with who you really are. So tuning into ease, tuning into love, bringing light to the situation to clear out the density. That situation is clearing out those heavier densities in your body from past trauma, from past experiences that you couldn't handle the feeling, the emotions fully, so you stored them. You're clearing it out. You're learning. So step 2 is really about truly knowing that and understanding that you can choose a different vibration right there. You can bring light to the situation and ascend beyond it. So in this case, it's easiest to tune to ease for the most part. Whenever I'm feeling stuck, I'm like, okay, what's the easiest thing I can do right now? What will bring me ease in this situation? Really think about who you want to be. Do you want to be the same person that's getting angry and being triggered and playing the victim? Or do you want to be that empowered creator that you are? More you. And that can be as easy as tuning into ease. Or for instance, if you're experiencing a feeling of lack in some way, like with money, and you're just like, oh God, my bank account's low, I'm feeling triggered, I'm feeling scared. Okay, I'm accepting that I'm giving my power away. I know that I create my experience by choosing it vibrationally. So what does it feel like with abundance? How can I at least find ease in this situation? Choosing it, being like, nope, I'm done with that. I choose to be abundant. Maybe even thinking about ways in your head where you're already abundant right now, examples of abundance, or just choosing ease, like I said, love, freedom, the vibrations of money. And step 3, and this is something that a lot of us have a hard time with, trusting the process. Trusting that this is the process and that you are the process. You're being guided. It's not you to figure out. You're not alone just trying to create this reality. Reality itself is guiding you. It's about how you look at it. And trusting the process of tuning vibrationally. Trusting it fully. Because when you tune to a different vibration, you have those moments of total ease. Like you just made a fucking decision. You're like, nope, I'm done with that. And then all of a sudden, just like that, either your partner comes in completely differently. Like I had that experience a couple weeks ago, where I just made the decision, like, nope, I'm not being that person anymore. And my fiance was acting differently that day. In the next 2 days, like night and day. Stuff we were fighting about just went away. It was easy. Everything I wanted just came. And there was a part of me that was like, what the fuck? What did I do? How is that easy? It felt like a fluke. But it's because I wasn't trusting the process. And I felt myself still holding on to the past versions of her and past realities instead of holding on to this new version. Trusting that I literally quantum leaped. I tuned to a different channel, a different vibration. And so I felt myself still protecting myself from what she used to do instead of fully being like, nope, I shifted realities. I'm going to own this. I'm sealing it. It's set. And I've held it very well. But in certain areas, I find myself still like trying to use force and not fully trusting the process with. So if there's any instances that you've had with that as well, where like something happened, you manifested something out of nowhere, or this big massive change that you can't explain, that you almost don't want to trust, like it's a fluke. It's not a fluke. You literally shifted vibration. You trusted the process, and you were rewarded by yourself, for yourself. You didn't try and fix the problem. You just tuned the solution and you're like, oh, yep, going there. And I find that it is always those times where I'm almost like a little bit like out of anger, like, no, I'm done with this. I am so done with this. And I declare it. Those are the moments where it happens fastest. Because I'm not declaring it for an outcome. I'm not declaring it through achievement, which is the ego and mind, the human self. But you're doing it on a soul level, where you're doing it to feel better. You're doing it because it's who you are and it feels right. It's your truth. Forgetting all outcomes. You're like, nope, I'm feeling this way. I'm being this person. I'm feeling good. Just forgetting outcomes. That's when shit happens. And that comes with trusting the process. And step 4, rinse and repeat. That's what they told me. That's what my guides told me today. Rinse and repeat. So let's go over that again. Step 1, call back your power by accepting the situation and recognizing you gave your power away. Step 2, choose different vibrationally. Tune into your frequency. If you don't know what that feels like, start tuning into it more. Start remembering it more. It makes it feel natural, just like a muscle. Activating you. your truest self. It should feel like ease, happiness, joy, you. Whenever in doubt, just choose ease. Choose what will bring you ease. Choose the easiest solution in that moment. Tune to ease, follow the impulse. Instead of trying to change it and all that bullshit. Because you're literally, this says easily you can step into one room to another. You can step in from one vibration to another. The low densities you're feeling, you're moving through, calling in the new ones. That you're a Jedi master. Think of it that way, okay? Vibrational Jedi. Step 3, trust the process. Trust that you can tune into a vibration and set it. Trust the process when you feel those emotions coming up. Trust that you can feel them. Not feel them by being in them, but feeling them by absorbing them, learning from them, seeing from the eyes of your next level, your soul, rather than from your past, rather than from victimhood, but from a creator, from the master, controlling the Jedi master, controlling the energies. Trust yourself to feel it all and choose. The energy can't hurt you. You're a healer. You are built to move this energy by feeling it. If you want more information on that, you can check out the past videos. Step 4, rinse and repeat. That's the process. Did I say 3? Just the process 4? Yeah, rinse and repeat. Okay, I'm making sure I got it all. But yeah, trust that your path is your reality. You're constantly being given guidance. So if you feel like a lack of support right now, like I was feeling a couple weeks ago, actually up until this week, see everything as support. You are being fully supported in everything you do. Every desire you have, your reality is supporting you. It's just how you look at it. Are you looking at it from a victim, or are you looking at it from an empowerment place, from the creator you? Seeing everything. Those nudges, are you following them? Those impulses. Are you trusting your body and your experience? Trusting that it's guiding you. Trusting this process of vibration. And remember, you're not here to be a soul. You're here to be a master human. Mastering this universe of the contrast and the lower density, or the lower vibrations, as well as the higher vibrations. It's really about bringing as much light as you can and tuning back into who you are with every experience that you have. That is what we're here to do, to shine light on that darkness in each situation, to remember who we are, to come more into who we are. That is the art of truly being ourselves, living authentically. It's not about knowing everything. It's not about knowing exactly who you are. It's about knowing that you know as much as you need to in each now moment. And there's always more. The more you trust, the more you believe, the more you ask. The key here is always being willing to learn, being willing to expand. And that's one thing that I got stuck on for a while, was I was trying to find myself. Finding yourself is finding the feeling and being willing to expand, being willing to take on new beliefs that may feel uncomfortable, but they feel right. It's always being willing to learn. Because we're never stagnant, we're always changing. And one last thing, be easy on yourself. Chances are you're already doing this naturally, you're just not trusting the process. So if you are getting frustrated with law of attraction and manifesting right now, chances are you just gotta trust the process. That was my thing. I was doing all the things, receiving all the guidance, I just wasn't trusting it. And you choose to trust it. You choose what you believe. Your beliefs are basically you setting the rules for your experience. There's no right or wrong beliefs. There's only aligned and not aligned for you and what you want. And they're always changing. They're always evolving. They're growing. That's why every single day I experience something new and more with my guides. And every day it always comes down to this trusting more, calling in more, trusting that I'm receiving everything I'm supposed to in each moment and not getting caught up in the future. Just this week, I got clarification that this was my guide, Maya. This was my very first big tattoo. And I didn't even know, I had no idea what I was going to come out with. And I came out with her. And for a couple of years ago, I even had like a download in a meditation that this was my guide. And that she was calling me through this tattoo, reminding me that she's always with me. But I didn't believe it. It was just this week again that I asked. I had the impulse to ask because like she came in. I was like, whoa. And it validated every single thing I have ever thought and have received. And she gave me more information about when she lived and all that. And now I can truly like feel her with me. And when my guides talk to me, I believe it. I believe it all, and that amplifies it. So I receive more. Trust. Trust your gifts. Trust your feelings. Trust your body. Trust the process. Trust the experiences that you're going through. And I promise that is the way. Resistance is only slowing you down. So embrace the experience. Remember, it's okay to be human. That's why we're here. So if you have questions, if you have insights that you want to share with me, anything, I love to hear from you all. And I'll see you next time.